This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that fire. Got my girl Lala in the building. Lala, what's up? How you doing today?
Good,
That's what's up. How was your week?
good.
Okay. All right. Well, today I want us to, and I mean, obviously you're going to go into it in your own way, but what I've been watching this week is a lot of content creators, and a lot of women are basically in uproar about other women, and the fact that, continuing on the conversation of what we talked about last week, modern women and their unrealistic standards for black men. And we're talking about the modern day black women. And I'm seeing a lot of content creators are of the same mode of what Kevin Samuels was talking about, but also at the same time, those same women are saying we love men and you women are messing it up for us. How do you feel about that?
What you said? They saying they love men. Like, say it, do it, repeat it again.
They're saying that they love men and that the women of today's age is messing it up. Basically, they're messing it up. They're screwing it up for them and their dating capabilities. They're seeking out a potential partner, a potential mate. They love black men, but apparently because black men are on strike and they're saying they don't want to date these modern day women, these women are like, "You messing it up for us." How you feel about that?
Yeah, I can see where they coming from for that, because because the media, social media only put out like when they be like, oh, I want a high value man. I want a man that's making 100K a month, 100K a year, maybe $1 million a year. They might social media only promote that. They don't promote the regular people. Be like, oh, I take somebody that's making 60,000 a year. You just regular people. Yeah, I can see. And they making it seem like, oh, everybody like the be on social media always shaking their behind, always not
Mhm.
wearing clothes. And people not when they see people, they be like, oh, like say when you go to the club nowadays, you be some people you see somebody dancing, some women be like, oh, we want to dance with a man, but they be scared to approach us because y'all be like, oh, how much money you made? You can't dance with me unless you make this amount of money.
Hmm.
And then they make everybody seem like they gold diggers. Well, yeah, they make everybody just seem like they gold diggers.
That's crazy because um a lot of modern day women, black women that I've noticed, and I'm not saying it's all of them because again, we don't want to be too heavy-handed here, but the majority of them say that they don't need a man, that they can fend for themselves. They are good by governing themselves, and basically a man is either going to toe the line and understand that they also bring something of value to the table, or he could kick rocks. I think that's a very dangerous thing to say because, in gender roles, you have what a man brings to the table and you have what a woman brings to the table. Clearly, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. Their biology is different, their anatomy is different, the way that they were created is different. The roles in of itself as what a man is supposed to be and how he's viewed, how he's raised, how he's thought to provide, protect, care. All men have this central component, whether they grow up from a heterosexual upbringing, a homosexual upbringing, you name it. In their DNA, they have this mentality that they have to protect them and theirs. It's just a mindset. Once that biology is formulated, the chromosomes come into place, and you realize it's a male, the mentality, the patriarchal mentality to want to protect, provide, and care, it showcases itself in whatever facet. Whether it starts out, some people have you start seeing them showcasing that as a kid when they start saying, "Well, this is what I want to be." You see, some people already know what they want to be. They tell you from 3 years old, "I want to be a teacher. I want to do this. I want to do that." There's some people, it takes their adolescence. They probably got to go through some stuff. They got to wait until they're able to know the difference between right and wrong. Some people, it's their adulthood. They got to go through some stuff. They got to, basically go through experiences before they figure out exactly what their purpose is. But a man is defined by his purpose. Well, when we sit here and we look at the opposite sex, it's different. There's no pressure to have a purpose. There's more so the mindset of, when I grew up, if I had a mother in the home, depending on how the mother thought, you know, um, at some point you're gonna need to have kids because your eggs are not gonna be around forever. Your biological clock is gonna work against you at some point. So that's always in the back of women's heads. At the same time that they're going out there to try to get careers, at the same time that they're going out there to try to make things work for themselves, they still have to also look at their DNA that tells them that there are certain things going on. So my thing is, how do you tell yourself as a modern day black woman that I don't need a man? Because men, their whole thing is they need to feel that they're needed. And not only do they need to feel that they're needed, they need to feel that they can be able to protect you and provide for you. But if you take that away, you take those components away from him, then what is left? When you sit here and you say that I could provide for myself, I could take care for myself. I just want you in this relationship. Like, what are you doing? And I think that that's the problem that I'm seeing with a lot of black women in general. I mean, women in today's day and age have the problem, but what we're focusing on is our own people, because we need to focus on what's going on the inside of the issues that's going on between modern day black women and black men. And the biggest thing, the biggest destroyer of the race is modern day black women have basically said they don't want to submit. And
They
this
do
is very
submit. They just submit to the wrong things. They submit to their degrees. They submit. They submit to their jobs. They submit to materialistic possessions. They do know how. They do know how to submit, but they just submit to the wrong things. They have no value with them. When you down your tombstone, they not gonna be like your name,
mm-hmm.
your name and your degree. They ain't gonna
Yep.
say that. They do know how to submit. They just want to submit to the wrong things that's not worth submitting to. This ain't the problem that they don't want to submit. They don't know how to submit. They just don't want to submit to someone else. And
That's a
then
great
they
point.
say some people say they don't need a man because now they got sex toys and they think sex toys can do everything. But if somebody come knocking on your door and come breaking in your house and just start busting, a sex toy can't protect you in any way, shape, or form. But
That's a great point that you said that they submit, but they submit to other things. That's a very unique way of looking at it. I didn't even look at it like that. I looked at it more so like, why this whole, evolution and this whole thing of, screw men. And then they wonder why now you got men today saying, fuck y'all. We don't even want to take you out on dates. Men are like, screw all of that, man. You go and you take all these people out on dates, you spending all of this money. And then next thing you know, the person either got some kind of bullshit, some kind of baggage, or some kind of drama, and then they all want to tell you, well, you're gonna have to do everything just so that you can get access to me. So the guy has to do all of the work, and all she has to do is show up because she's the woman. That shit doesn't make sense. And then when you hold these women accountable and you tell them, well, what do you bring to the table? They want to get in their feelings.
no, they say some people they be like, "Well, it's the man fault too." Only reason I say that because well, you already know I'm from Florida. Remember we was growing up, Trina used to always say she got the best vagina out. Men always tell women that they got the best vagina. And then I got into it with somebody last week. I'm like, why y'all tell them they got the best vagina? What they need, like men need to start saying, I need, back in the days we had report cards growing up,
Mhm.
like, and then you know how you have resume, they be like, give us references. You should do that. Y'all should have, yeah, we need to see a report card. What you got? The best fellatio, the best vagina, best whatever. What make them think they got the best vagina? Men make women think they got the best vagina because they be sitting there having sex with them, be like, "Oh yeah, you got the best vagina," and they put it in their head. We're like,
That's
"Well, you
true.
said I got the best vagina, so guess what? I'm gonna give this best vagina to somebody else." And then sometimes they vagina don't be all that be trash because everybody think they got the best vagina. How you know you got the best vagina? You ain't have sex with everybody in the world. They didn't have sex with everybody to say that everybody says they have the best vagina. One person tell them they got the best vagina, then they take it on with their head. Like I got one friend because he
Mhm.
remind me like this was like a couple of years ago. We was all getting ready to go to. It was a Friday night, and they was at my house, but he wasn't there. He was like my friend said, text him, ask him do he want to go paintballing. And then he was, so I texted him, I said, you want to go paintballing? He was like, no, I said, what you doing? He said, getting his trash behind head. This the clean version. He said, getting his trash
Damn.
behind head. And I said, and then I said, what you doing for real? He was like, I just told you 2 minutes ago, getting his trash behind head. Like stuff like, don't, I ain't saying go in front of everybody, be like, hey, you got trash behind head, but tell them the truth. You trash, your vagina trash, your head trash, so they won't think in their mind like I got the best vagina. So guess what? I can go get his best vagina for him. Like that's the thing. Men need to start telling women the truth and start breaking them down. No, you ain't the best at this. No, you ain't the best at that. You don't got the best this, and you ain't got the best that. What she got is 10 other people, maybe on your same street, guy, and maybe better. What she
Yep.
ain't gonna do is 10 other girls, 10 other women that's gonna do the same thing. So what is she the best at? I hate when people say the best. Nobody ain't the best at nothing because you ain't meet everybody in the world to say you the best at it.
Mhm. That's true. And it's only the best based on, like you said, the limitation of your experiences and what you've experienced. And it's not like you're gonna go out there and experience all the 10 billion people on the planet. That shit doesn't work. What I find out is, and I'm just being honest because I've had a lot of coochie and I continue to get a lot of coochie, is it's all to me the same. Like you might find one person because mentally they you're into them mentally, so because you're into them mentally it makes it more mentally stimulating. But there's a lot of motherfuckers out there, man. They make you feel like you about to get the best of the best, and then once you get in there it's like that's it. Or you got some motherfuckers, they just lazy. They don't know how to do anything. When you're being intimate with them, they want you to do all the movement. They just want to sit there and lay there. But see, this is what I'm talking about when I say women want you to do everything and they just want to sit back and relax and chill out. And basically, because they are the woman, it's expected that, okay, I'm the woman, I arrived to the party, you got to do everything, and I just sit back and enjoy the spoils. And if I can't tolerate you, if I don't want to deal with you at any given moment, I could get up and leave because my emotions are sporadic. My emotions are up and down. Oh, by the way, I had childhood trauma. By the way, I have problems with my siblings. They pour all that bullshit on you. By the way, yeah, my finances are not all the way together, so I'm gonna need you to clean this up. By the way, I'm gonna need money because I need to get this purse. I need to get this. I need to get that. Oh, by the way, I need you to be able to get me a vehicle so that I can go and drive to work. Oh no, by the way, I don't want to work right now. I just want to go to school. This is all the shit that you have to deal with. But then when you do all of these things and you're telling yourselves as a logical being, because that's the difference between men and women. Men are logical, women operate off of their emotions. When a man's logic comes into play and he says, okay, I'm gonna give her all these things, I'm gonna do all these things for her, he's thinking in his mind he got somebody of value, somebody that's he's basically gonna grow with and he's gonna have a future with. So in his mind it's a foregone conclusion, if I do these things for her, logically she's gonna be around and it's gonna be better for us. But it doesn't pan out that way, because she may wake up one day and say, well, I don't fucking like you. Or she may have gone out with her friends. And here's the thing, unequally yoked. She's in a relationship with someone, but she still has friends that are single. And her friends don't like her situation. So her friends are like, they always throwing these little seeds. These women are slick, man. They throwing these seeds like, But why don't you just go out? Why you always hanging out with him? Why you always got to be around him? Why you can't just come out with us? They start that whole guilt trip shit. And I call it gaslighting because they want you to come out. And then once you come out, that's when they start pouring out their stories. Men ain't shit. Men is this, men ain't that. You start listening to that after so long. What do you think is going to end up happening? We're a product of our own environment. You're going to start believing that shit. No matter how strong of an individual you are, you take in the vibrations of the people and the energies and the spirits that are around you. And if the energies and the spirits of people are negative, you're going to take that in. So eventually, if you're feeling vulnerable, eventually, if you're feeling like your emotions are not at its best, and they start saying that, and at that moment you want to hear it, then you're going to take it in. And whatever you take in at that point is really hard to take back. Now you go home, you feeling some type of way after you done had fun with your girls. He probably said something in that moment, not realizing he said something that pissed you off, and then boom. Now you start questioning, do I want to be with him anymore? Forgetting all of these other things that have taken place, forgetting that he set you up, forgetting that he elevated you, forgetting that he put you in a good position, all because of what? One night out with your girls? A few night out with your girls? Come on, man. This is the type of shit that we're dealing with in today's society. And this is why you got the divorce rate. This is why you got separation rates. This is why you have these things at an all-time high. We're talking about in the 80 something percentile. It's ridiculous.
But emotions not facts. They can't rely on emotion because it's not facts. What emotions gonna get you? Emotions don't pay the bills.
Yep.
Emotions can't get you nowhere in life. You can't go to the light bill place, say, hey, I want to pay an emotions. You can't pay your water bill. Hey, I want to pay an emotions. You can't pay your rent and mortgage in emotions. So what they gonna do? Misery love company. But I got something to say for the men. You know how they be having sex with sex toys. They be like, I don't need a man. I got a sex toy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if she cheating on you with a sex toy, if you go out the country, not because I seen it done, wink, 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 but guess what? If you go out the country and you have sex with somebody else, basis ain't cheating. She don't know. She ain't gonna tell you. Long as you're not bringing no STD, long as you're not bringing no pregnancy, and long as you ain't doing it, making it habitual doing it. So I believe if you gonna cheat, go outside the country. Don't do it inside the United States. If you gonna cheat, go outside the country and cheat
So
with
so
somebody.
what you saying is this is what these women do when they go on
No,
these girls trips, when
no,
they
I
when
said
they
if
travel.
you were no, I said if you a man
Oh, if you're a
and
man, okay.
your wife or your significant other not having sex with you, she's spending more time with a sex toy 3 out of the 4 weeks of the
Okay.
month. Save your money, get a passport, go outside the country and do what you want to do. Have sex there. Don't make it a habit. Do it 1 or 2 times. God not gonna tell on you. The universe, ancestors ain't gonna tell you doing it 1 time, you doing it 2 times, then you come back. Who gonna tell on you? Not me. I ain't saying I seen it done, but I'm just saying.
But
But my
why
people,
why even
but
put yourself in that position? Why even put yourself in that position if you're not being satisfied sexually like that? That you got to go out the country and you got to go and sleep with somebody because
okay,
she
as
messing
the
with sex
women,
toys.
why they putting themselves in a position and buying these sex toys? They
Because my
buying the
thing
sex
is,
toys
if you're not happy sexually, why even be with that person? There's like over 10 billion people on the planet. You could
because
just
some
be with
people are
somebody else.
homosexuals. They need somewhere to stay. Why would they give up they place to stay in comfort to go? They same friends ain't told them all this stuff is
Mhm.
not gonna let them sleep on the couch. They gonna be sleeping on floor to floor. They ain't gonna let them sleep at their house. That's why.
So what you saying is the guy's ignorant to the fact of that, or he knows?
I don't know. I'm not a man. Some of them know, but some people just want somebody a warm bed. That's what some people just want, a
I mean,
warm
if you
bed.
don't know what you don't know, then that's understandable. But if you know what you know and you're not ignorant to the fact, why the fuck do I need to go outside of a country and go and mess with somebody so that she could play with her sex toys because she's not satisfied? Just cut her ass loose. Like you said, these men need to grow fucking balls. This is why the world is the way it is. And I absolutely agree with you on that. This is why the evolution of OnlyFans is so big. This is why IG thoughts and IG models are so big. I don't have an OnlyFans account. I never had one, and I don't have no intentions on having one. I think that's the biggest beta male trap ever. I think you have to be a weak and inferior male to say, I need to go and basically get an OnlyFans subscription. It tells me that you can't just go out there yourself and get a woman just by talking. Like, I just think that's weird. I love the human interaction of a man and a woman just meeting up with each other, talking, and seeing where it goes from there. I'm old school with that kind of stuff. But a lot of people, they're not like that. Their mindset is, you know, I just want to be behind a computer screen. What do you get out of that? I
We
don't
already
understand that.
see we already see the problem every time. Most of the time, you already see what's the problem with people online dating. They end up getting robbed or killed. That's the only two outcomes of it: robbed and killed. They put themselves in that situation.
And I feel like social media has made, and I said this last week, if you a thought, it's made you more of a thought. If you're a hoe, it made you more of a hoe. And if you are a modest apparel woman, it made you more of a modest apparel woman. You're just basically what you were on fucking steroids. And you have a bunch of men that are just prescribing to these women, telling them in the comment section, "Oh, you look so good, you look so gorgeous." A woman's not gonna respect you if you do that, man. If you just basically giving them what I call empty fucking compliments. They haven't done anything to deserve the compliment. They haven't put in any fucking work. So why are you throwing compliments at them? And then you wonder why you can't get them. And then they go and they mess with the guys that really, they say these guys, quote unquote, treat them like shit. It's not that. These guys just not paying them no mind. When a guy's used to, access with women, he's used to dealing with women, and he looks at women no different than as if he's talking to his own friend. These women find these types of men interesting. They find them attractive. They find them, as okay, this is the person I want to be with. But what ends up happening is these men already either have another situation going on, or these men are part of a small group. So these women that are sitting here saying they want all of this standard and they want this and they want that, I always laugh at that shit, because they end up being the side chick to these types of men, because these are the types of men that they want. They end up settling. So it's either you figure it out early on and know what you want, and you can basically be able to get the best of the best, or eventually you're gonna settle. You got all of these women saying, I don't need a man. I could be independent. I could have my finances together and do all of this. By the time they hit 40s, don't no man their age want them. So they chasing these dudes that are in their 20s. And they know damn well these dudes they chasing at their 20s. Yeah, they're gonna dick them down. But these dudes also gonna be dicking down everybody else too. So they gotta share. So either way, you lose. This is what these women don't realize. You lose out either way. I honestly believe you lose out worse when you go out there, get your career, get everything all situated, and then now you have to deal with these young dudes that really is not trying to settle down. Shit, I remember when I was like that. I would, man, don't even throw that word my way. Shit, I'm like that now. But then I was even worse. Don't even look at me and throw that fucking word my way. So I could imagine these young guys. This is what these women are working for. So what you're working for is empty fruit, because you're gonna be in your 40s, and we know women in their 40s are at their highest sexually, and they're gonna be dealing with these young guys. And when they start dealing with these young guys, what's ultimately gonna end up happening is these young guys are gonna cheat on them. So what did you prove? What did you gain? Like, what did you get out of all of this by saying, I want to be independent? I want to be able to do this and do that. You're not getting what these men are getting at your age, because these men are getting the creme de la creme. They're getting the choices of the choices. That's what a lot of these women don't understand. Y'all not men. Y'all will never be men, and y'all not gonna get what men get. When we get older, if we're on our purpose and we're doing everything we're supposed to, we get better. I have way more access. This shit is funny to me, man. I thought I was pulling chicks in my 20s. I thought I was pulling chicks in my 30s. Shit. I turned 40, man. It's like I just walk into a room and just sniff. The room suffocate and boom, I have instant access. Because women, their intuition tell them immediately something with this motherfucker, something's going on with him that I like. I want to get to know him. Man, I don't even talk. I walk into a room, but that's just me. My swag is like that. I walk into a room, I suffocate all the air. If I have to tell the air in the room to breathe in order for that motherfucker to breathe. That's just me. I can only speak for me. But when I do step into the room and I tell the room to fucking breathe, I have women approach me, and these women are telling me everything. I don't even gotta say shit. And I notice because I'm older, it's like I'm sexier to them. I'm more attractive to them. Y'all women don't get that shit at 40. Y'all don't get that shit at 50. What y'all get is these young boys that's like, oh, look at this cougar. They get this cougar fetish because I was like that too. When I was 20, 21, man, I was fucking so many women in their 40s. Oh, look at this cougar. Look at this cougar fetish. And these women in their minds are thinking because they're getting these young guys, they're getting something of value. You're not getting shit of value. What you're getting is a young guy that just wants to get his little cougar or milf fetish. And then once he's done with you and he's past that phase, he's done. So really, when you did all of this, I'm on the same toll with another guy. I'm independent. I'm this and that. Did you really get the same level that these men that are in their 40s are getting? No, you did not get that. So this is why I'm saying if women start getting into this mindset of realizing earlier on, if you know right then and there that you want to settle, you found you a good guy, yeah, nobody's gonna be perfect, but at the same time, you're doing self-evaluation of yourself and no, you ain't fucking perfect. You got mental fucking trauma. You need to go see a fucking therapist. You need to always look at your own self in the fucking mirror. Then, and you know you got somebody that you could work with. Why not work with him? Because once you lose that motherfucker and that motherfucker is gone, because let me tell you something about men. Once men get silent on you and they're done with you, they are done with you. They keep talking about when a woman's fed up. There's nothing like a woman fed up that can compare to when a man is done with your ass. When a man is done with your ass, that woman is literally gonna have to crawl, beg, cry, scream, and that guy will even still look at you and laugh because he's done. Mentally, he's done. And that's what these women are not getting. It's not the same level. We're not on an equal footing. So when you find a good guy and you find somebody that's worth of value, make sure you do everything that you got to do in your power to keep that motherfucker.
Some people they just want people. They want to change people. They want to change people into them. Like say people start going together. They be doing
Mhm.
all this fun stuff, and then before they go together, they do all this fun stuff, and then when they really go together, they be like, oh, we don't do this no more. We can't do that no more. And then oh no, you need to do this. You need to do that. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do that. They just try to turn them into them, to
Yep.
the person they want them to be.
And this is when you know you're dealing with women that are filled with nonsense. These are the red flags. And this is for the fellas. When you're dealing with a woman that's always, you know, attention oriented, she's always basically on her phone, always in the mirror, always taking pictures, always this and that, and she's supposed to be with you. That's a red flag right there. That's the biggest red flag. Because when a woman's into a guy and a woman is really like in the moment, all that shit goes to the wayside, man. When she's with the right guy, none of that shit matters. None of it matters. I'm not gonna say that she's not gonna be a woman. She's not gonna do her selfies. She's not gonna take her pictures, but she's gonna know the right and appropriate time to do these things. She's not gonna always be detached away from you. You will have her attention. The two most valuable resources for people are their time and their energy. And a woman will give you her time and energy when she's into your ass. But this is the thing that's fickle about women. At any given moment, the same way that she's into your ass, at any given second, she could also not be into your ass. That's how up and down and yo-yo-y their emotions and their feelings are. So me per se, the person that I am today, I don't like dealing with women in long-term relationships anymore or in long bouts. I find that very draining. I think that's mentally stressful. And there's a yo-yo element that I just don't want to fucking deal with. If I see your ass once a week, that's ideal for me. Twice, that's cutting it. And that's if I like your ass. If I want to tolerate your ass, I want to be around your ass for twice a week, I'm good to go. Anything more than that, you are a fucking pest. Because I already know anything more than that is going to create some kind of issue. So I'm going to be dealing with some kind of baggage. You're going to be giving me some kind of emotional. You got to vent. You got to do this. You got to do that. And that's the thing with people. When people are around each other too much, they start getting comfortable. And at the same time, not only do they get comfortable, people start getting bored. I find if I'm around you once a week, maybe twice a week, that's a honeymoon for me. That's a honeymoon. Twice if we really vibing, once every week, and that's it. And if you act up and I got issues with you, I won't see you. I'll cut your ass off that whole next week. You wait 2 weeks. That's my mentality with it. I find that as a perfect storm because let me tell you something, and this is why I need to tell men, you need to start loving your own company. Women love their own company. A woman will sit there and flake on a guy for a date and they don't got shit going on. They could just be sitting there watching Lifetime. They'll be by themselves. They love their own fucking company. Men have to start learning how to love their own company. I've always been a loner. I've always been, independent. I've always been self-driven. So I love my own company, man. I don't need nobody around me to identify me, define me, and make me. Now, if the person comes in and they are a asset and an additive, perfect. You bring value, perfect. Oh, you coming in, you cooking? Shoot, we good. You coming in and we sexing, we good. You coming in, we having great conversation, you good. We coming in and we having fun. Like we're talking about things that we both are mentally stimulated. You giving me good because this is what it's all about with me. Bonding and vibrations, man. That's very important for me. You got to give me a good bond and you got to give me a good vibe. Your bond and your vibe is off. Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I ain't dealing with your ass. It's that simple. But that's what we need, accountability from men. Because Lala's right. This shit starts with us. This is why this thing is all out of whack. You got a lot of men accepting all kinds of things, and this is why these women are doing these things. If men basically say, you know what, we taking our picket fences and we are rioting against OnlyFans will shut down the next day. If men stop commenting on IG, you ain't having this whole IG models and IG thoughts making so much money and being like they're damn near borderline celebrities. This shit stops. So it starts with us, man. We got to be accountable for this shit.
But black people, they don't, black people take them a while because, it take black people a while to start getting old. Like black people really start paying attention. Oh, okay, when I'm 25, I don't need to worry about nothing. When I'm 35, I don't need to worry about that. When I'm 40, okay, now I might have a little gray streak in my hair. Now I might, need to settle down. But like when black people like turn 45, that's when black people start looking at age. Black people that don't drink or don't smoke, you see them a long time, they'll be looking like they 20
Yep.
forever, 20, 25. So they ain't really paying attention and worrying about to having no family, settle down in life. They ain't worrying about none of that because they don't look their age. The only thing they bones know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why black people take too long to do. Some black people do take too long to do stuff because they can play around a little bit with time.
Mm-hmm.
They might can finesse time, but they can't finesse their bones.
Facts. And see, here's the thing, Lala, and that's why I appreciated you when you said that last week with the dynamics of your relationship. Women like you are very far and few in between. They're not around like that. And I'm just gonna be honest. So with me knowing that and me just, thinking on just a little bit more advanced level than the average Joe or the average dude, I don't deal with all of that, man. That's why I love having a rotation of women that I can deal with. That's just me. Having multitude of women I deal with, different personalities. Like the other day, I had to cut one of them motherfuckers off. I have all of them talk to each other. We do conference calls. I don't play these games where, if I'm talking to you about something, the other one doesn't know what's going on. No. The other day I had all of them on a conference call, and then I was cutting one of them off, and that's why I was doing that thing on YouTube where I was surveying polls, telling the guys, "Hey, who y'all think I should add to the roster? Who y'all think I should add? For me to start dating or whatever." Because I was gonna cut her ass off because she says she's a goddess. I believe in God, man.
Mm.
You start playing these games where you start going to idolatry and goddess. I said, "Are you gonna?" I told her that. I said to her, "Are you gonna stop that? Are you gonna stop calling yourself a goddess? Are you gonna stop basically going into this whole? You say you were a fifth percenter. I don't even know what the hell this stuff is." And she was like, "No, I'm not gonna stop doing it." I said, "Well, I can't fuck with you no more because
Well,
if
that's
I
the
mess
man
with
problem
you,
too. Like, cause people they be calling like I hate when people. I always hate it when people call men call or women call each other queen. I'm like when they be like on the
mm-hmm,
internet, queen this, queen that, sis this, sis that. Off the internet, they'll see another black woman. They're walking down. They ain't gonna say queen nothing. 98% of the time, they ain't saying nothing to them.
yep,
They'll look at them, roll their eyes. I'm like, when are these people queens on the internet? Everybody a queen.
mm-hmm,
Everybody empress. Everybody all these things. No, they not. I'm like, if everybody a queen, who gonna be an educator? Who gonna be a cook? Who
yep,
who gonna do other stuff? Everybody want to be a queen. I'm like, what? Then when you ask them what make you a queen, they always be like my melanin, or they'll say something stupid or that independence. I got this, I got that. I'm like, but what make you a queen? And then
mm-hmm,
the men be saying, oh, this a queen, this a queen, that. I'm like, everybody got to stop being called the queen. What are y'all queen of? Y'all don't own no land to be a
mm-hmm,
queen. You don't. You don't own, even if you own your own business, you can't make no changes in your city, your state. You can't make no, do nothing. Queen of what? The queen of
exactly,
darkness. Some of them are. I'm like, stop faking. I hate the internet. Like I don't even get on. Well, I don't even F with social media like that. They always
mm-hmm,
say queen. Man be like, oh, the queen this, queen that. This my queen. That my here my beautiful queen. I'm like, come on, stop lying to these people. Because in their
yep,
mind, they think, well, this person say I'm a queen, so you need to treat me like the queen. And they be like, I set the standard of being a queen. And you ask them how you set the standard of being queen. Well, they can't talk to me this type of way. I'm like, in reality, the people can talk to you any type of way they want. You can't get mad. Like if somebody step on your shoe, you can't get mad how somebody gonna react. They might slap you, push you. You can't get mad how people react to stuff. I'm
mm-hmm,
like, stop. Men need to stop calling women queen. Or they be like, some people be like, we all God because we all create life. I'm like, yeah, anybody can give birth.
yep,
Animals give birth to they God too.
yep, yep,
The man the one do that. The man hype the women head up and make them think they this, they that. I'm like, what? No, they not.
exactly.
Once they leave their house,
I
all
agree,
that stuff
and
fall
it was
apart. In a house, they
and
may
it
be
was
all that, but once you go in the outside world, nobody see none of that.
facts. Facts. You're right. And it was a very emotional moment. That shit happened a few days ago, but I told her straight up. I said rebellion is the beginning of witchcraft. And I'm not going against God, man. This ain't gonna be no King Solomon situation, you know. This is not gonna be this where I'm gonna just follow, whatever false religion that you believe in, et cetera, et cetera. I said, you're going to have to renounce it. I told her straight up over the phone. You got to renounce it. The other two girls, the main rotation chick and number two, was like, yeah, they were crying with her. Like, why are you doing this? Like, just be done with it. He already told you straight up. And nah, she didn't want to do it. So I said, okay, all right, I'm done. Say less. If I tell you say less, it's over. I said, say less. I haven't spoken to her since. She's been blowing up my phone ever since. And then I finally responded. And I said, "Did you renounce?" Because as a man, you gotta set your standard, man. And once you set your standard, you gotta know these people gotta be up under your program. Whether if you're in a monolithic, if you're in a monogamous type of relationship, or you're in a relationship where you have multiple partners, you set the standard on what it's gonna be. And these women have to acquiesce. I'm a king on earth, man. I'm a lord on this earth. The Bible says that God is a king of kings, Lord of lords. Well, who's the kings? Who's the lords? It's men. See, I understand that. There was a time, Lala, where a wife and a woman called her man my king and my lord. And it wasn't just because he wore a crown. It was because that was the position he had in his household, and that was the position he had in the relationship. Yes, I'm saying this. I'm probably some of these women probably like, what the? Yeah, we got to get back to this place where women start looking at their men as kings and lords. It's just that simple.
But some women want to impress other women. They like some people. They'll be like when you ask them. Like I used to not well not now because I do like health and fitness. But I used
Hmm.
to like assist in surgeries. Like people was like, oh my god, like they'll get their nose done. They'll be like, oh my god, oh I be getting all this attention. I had so much confidence in it. Because before, if I didn't know that they got the surgery done, I'm like. You should that nose job made you had confidence.
Hmm.
They was like, yeah, everybody noticed me. I walk in the room, I'm like, nah, I think you did. They were like, nah, the post op. I'm like, nah, I think you been had that in you. You just now you wanted to use it because your nose, you did your nose. Like we had one person, he had, you know how alfalfa had the ears that come out right here. We did the
Hmm.
surgery, make his ears go back. He was like, everybody be talking to me, everybody love me. And I be like, when I know that's what I'm not against body surgery, but cosmetic surgery, but I seen people every time they get the surgery, then they be like, "Oh my God, I did this! Oh my God, people notice me!" And then I don't know you, so I don't see nothing. They be like, "Oh no, because I got this surgery, I was getting so many opportunities." I'm like, "You sure you got them opportunities? Or you sure when you got the surgery, now in your mind,
Hmm.
you start applying for the things you want or doing the things you want, getting the attention you want."
Yep.
Because that's what people think, oh, I'm getting a BBL for me. I'm like, no, you're not. You getting a BBL for other people to see that you got it. Everybody I seen they get a BBL, it's like 6 months later they gain the same weight that and plus
Hmm.
25 pounds, and then they got to keep getting it done. I'm like, why you keep getting it? That's one of the most dangerous procedures ever because you know when they taking the fat out their body and they injected it, you can't see the vein in your butt. So if they put it in the wrong vein, that's it.
It's
They be like,
over.
okay, I just want my hips done. I want this done. I'm like, every time y'all get a surgery, in they mind, they think every time they get a surgery, they think, okay, I got this surgery, so now I'm gonna get all these opportunities. But before, when they had the surgery, they weren't worrying about filling out no application. They weren't worrying about
Mhm.
going to these type of clubs. They weren't worrying about going into these type of auditions. But now since they got the surgery, they think in their mind the surgery made me better. And I would tell them all the time, I'm like, no, you been had it in you. You just spent $15,000 just to prove that you got it. And until you like with certain people, they go, I'm gonna go to this religion. They want to do this. I'm like, you been had it in you. You just had to, somebody else had to bring it out of you. I'm like, you always had it in you. You just didn't want to do the same things. You just want to prove, okay, I got my nose done, so now I'm gonna go do this. And I'm like, you been had it in you. I'm like, I can't tell if your nose got done. And they're
Facts.
like, oh man, you can't really tell. I'm like, duh, I can't tell because I don't want help with the surgery. I'm like, they be thinking like, oh, I need this surgery just to get in here. No, I need this surgery just to get in. I'm like, no, you don't. You first
Exactly.
they don't try to get in the places. They don't want to try the auditions. They don't want to try the jobs. But then when they get it, they're like, okay, now I'm ready. I'm like, you been had it. But people in people mind, they think I need to spend this amount of money to do these type of activities or get this type of attention.
Facts.
But like when I be telling people when they try to, I'm gonna get a BBL. I'm like, if you get a BBL, like I got three big brothers and three little brothers. Like we came out like the same vagina and the same penis. I'm like,
Mhm.
no matter what you do to your body, a hitter still gonna treat you like shit. So what you think? Because you got your body done, they gonna treat you better because you got a bigger butt, a bigger chest. No, they still gonna treat you the same. It's ain't about what you got on your body. It's about how you see yourself and how you treat yourself and your
Facts.
energy that you bring into the room. They be thinking, if I
Facts.
just get this done, everybody gonna treat me better. No, they still gonna treat you like shit. They still the next day gonna have sex with somebody else after they had sex with you. I'm like, my views gonna be different because I got three big brothers. Now we not back to back and three little brothers.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, come on, I seen this stuff happen all the time. Why would you think they gonna treat you better because you got this cosmetic surgery done?
Yep.
All you got it done. It's just something more he can grab onto. This ain't what you did. What you gonna get more attention? And then they be like, oh man, you just don't know. I'm like, I do know.
Because the secret is simple, and a lot of guys don't know this. If they listen in, I'm gonna tell you, you just treat these women like you treat your friends, man. It's simple. You don't get all like googly gaga because, like she just said, because she got some big ass, big titties. I mean, if you're not used to that, I could understand why but if you're used to it, act like she's just like your friend. Because when you're dealing with your friend, you're normal, right? You are yourself. That's the perfect example that I can give any man that's listening. When you're dealing with a woman, you around a woman's presence. If you're not, advanced and you don't know how to just deal with their ass, act like she is like your friend. Because when you're dealing with your friend, you are yourself. So when you're around her, you will act like yourself. And she will pick up on that. Because one thing that women are very good with picking up on. Oh, look at the little one. Okay. Is that your little girl? Okay. That's what's up. One thing that they're good at picking up on, which is a really good thing, is they're good on picking off their intuitions. They're good on picking up on vibes. They're good on picking up on people's emotions. They can pick up on those things very fast like that. So act like she's like your friend. You act like that, you'd be surprised the positive response that you get in the situation, as opposed to you sitting there all like, you just new to the party. She wants your attention. Like you new to the dance.
Yeah, Mika, you drawing.
I mean, it's really that simple. So my thing is, a lot of people just don't understand this, but you have a lot of people out there, men and women, they got this thing twisted. They think that they got to go off of what people are telling them, and they're living their lives vicariously through other people. How can you define your life like that as a man? How can you define your life like that as a woman? And then you want to sit there and tell people this is the standard and what you want in life? It's a joke to me, man. A lot of these black women, they have it backwards. I was listening to this black woman on social media the other day talk about, she was on social media the other day and she was talking about how basically you can't get the type of men that you want because they're already taken. And then when they already taken, now we got to deal with the scraps. We got to deal with the bottom of the barrel. And it's the way that she was using the terminology as if she was the man in the equation. I was laughing at this thing because I'm like, you got this thing backwards. No wonder you in your 40s, like Kevin Samuels was talking about. And of course, she looked like she weighed about 300 plus pounds. And then she's sitting here saying, now I have to fend for the scraps. You're not fending for no scraps, because the guy asked her, "Are you single?" She said, "Yeah, I'm still single." So you know what he told her? You're just having sex. Nobody's taking you on relationship wise. They're just screwing you. So do you really think that you are having something of value? Because guys, they're entering inside of you. She said, "Well, you can't look at it like that. So what about guys? They enter into women." He was like, but the difference between that is these guys have the opportunity when they enter into women to decide if they want to have relationships with them. Are these guys entering into you? Do you have the option to decide if you want to be in a relationship with these guys? No. You just have the opportunity that they see your ass at night, they enter inside of you, and that's that. And then you getting mad because now you're saying you have to settle. That it don't make no sense to me. They got this thing backwards. And you got a whole bunch of these women sitting here saying that they're on equal footing. I've said this before. The modern day world, the world that we live in, society itself, civilization was founded upon by men. Men were the ones who basically created this civilization, this world, and the structure of it. So these women that have these degrees, that have these education, you need to thank these men that built the modern day world, the wars that they had to go through, the pillaging that they have to do, the back and forth, territories that had to be conquered, all so that you can go and get your degree. I don't understand these women. They got this thing backwards, man. You in a man's world. You have what you have, thankfully, because of men. So instead of being thankful and acquiescing, you want to sit there and stunt and pump your chest. They got this shit backwards, man. They got it backwards.
Social media made it so everybody can be accepted. Like they be like, "Oh, body positivity," and I be telling people, body positivity not real. In the real world, that is not real on social media. They be like, "Yes, sis, go sis, you rocking that sis." I'm like, come on now. Some people they know they sit there be 400 pounds, 500 pounds plus, and they be like, yeah, sis, you rock. I'm like, stop playing. Like I be telling people, I'm like, everybody can't be thick, skinny. People up north gonna be bigger than people down south. Samoan gonna be bigger than an Asian. I'm like, come on, okay, that stuff making sense. But I said, think about it. If your house on fire, you got your dog, you got your kids, and some people are heavy sleepers. If you weighing 400 pounds, your husband fitting in shape, the first thing he gonna get is the dog, the kids, and maybe his wallet and stuff in the car keys. He can't be trying to hurry up get you out the fire. I'm like, come on, black people, we got the highest rate of diabetes,
Facts.
obesity, and then social media be like, oh no, you know how you be seeing it? They be promoting all the mukbangs, all the unhealthy
Mhm.
eating. They promoting all the fast and the sugary food, and then they be
Yep.
like, you need this, you need that. I'm like, come on now, don't be. Then they be like, oh, I'm like, man, y'all. They be like, oh, then they get mad. You know how social media be with the fake positivity. You call somebody the FAT word, they'll block
Hmm.
your channel. I'm like, come
Hmm.
on now, then people be like, oh, well, I'm this size, so men need to accept me. I'm like, people shouldn't man. I be telling people shouldn't man have options of what they should want to have sex with. Should they have a preference what they want to have sex with? Because you're a woman, that don't mean all men should want to have sex with you. Since that's what make me mad about social media. They be like, oh, body positivity. I'm like, that is not real at
It's
all. You
not.
go to the store, you go to the stores, they not gonna have 5XXXXX. They ain't gonna have all of that. They gonna have small, medium, large, or extra small, or maybe 2X. They not
Hmm.
having all of that. And then some people not fat, but black women and Hispanic women, they gonna be like more curvier than your
Hmm.
regular degular European non-mixed women. So they're gonna have
Hmm.
to have bodies, they gonna have clothes fit to their bodies. I'm like, come on now. I'm not saying some men don't like bigger women, but we've been seeing like where they put Lizzo in front of everything, like, oh my God, this what you big girls need this for. I'm like, we've been seeing big, pretty girls with they big and they have pretty faces and they fat in certain places. I'm like, Lizzo not the first pretty big girl. Why y'all just we had Missy Elliott, she was big and pretty. I'm like, why y'all be making it seem like they be like, oh, Missy Elliott, I mean not Missy Elliott, Lizzo said it, Trail. I'm like, no, stop playing. But Lizzo, I
Hmm.
said, like I be telling people, they get mad. The only thing about Lizzo, she really got talent. She really can sing. She really can play a flute. She really got talent. And then she got a pretty face, like it's asymmetrical. You know, how some people have like one eye bigger than the other. I'm like, some
Hmm.
of y'all literally looking like, I don't know, looking like they got hit in the face with something. And then they be having bad attitudes. I'm like, you can't be big and then have a bad attitude at Subway with people. Come on, you already 400 pounds and
Yep.
then you yelling at the people. I'm like, y'all, you gotta pick and choose your battles.
Yep. And
Like if you ugly, you
unfortunately,
can't be ugly and have a hmm?
Lizzo doesn't have access that Cam Newton have because you know you had Kevin Samuels talk about it, and he was like, "Well, Lizzo is very successful. Lizzo commands a certain amount of money. It's the same way with Cam Newton. He's successful. He commands a certain amount of money. They both are basically in the same area net worth wise. They both are worth $12 million. But the difference is, and this is what Kevin Samuels was talking about when he said 35 and up and average, she cannot do what Cam Newton can do. Because when it's all said and done, Cam Newton as a male is gonna have access. He's gonna have the pick of the litter. Her at 35 and above, famous or not, because of like you said, her weight, and because of the fact that she's not a size two, every man's not gonna want her. Men are visual, man. Men are attracted by you physically, and they will tell you the truth. This whole body positivity shit, it does not work with men. They will
No,
tell
it don't
you
work in the
your
real
ass
world at all. You
exactly. They'll
you
tell
right
your ass
now.
It
Right
ain't
now
my
they
type.
opening up they opening up the theme part, not the theme parts. What it, the water parts? You know,
Mhm.
they have signs. They have to see your bottoms. They really put. They have to be able to see that you got on shorts. Them people saying no tattered clothes. You can't get on this water slide. They putting up the signs. You can't get on the water slide. You can't be more than this many pounds to get on the water slide. This ain't just no real world. I'm like, come on, this in real life.
This is on the airplanes too.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
if you bigger,
somebody
you they
gets on
put
the
you in a certain
airplane,
seat.
male or female, their ass is too big. That shit is annoying. You sitting in the seat and you're wondering, okay, and this is the thing that trips me out. They don't even get this is what trips me out about these people on the plane. They don't even get the window seat or they don't get the aisle seat. They always want to sit their big ass in the middle. And then
But
you
they gotta
sitting
sit.
there.
You know, they have to sit in the middle because when the last time when I was on the plane, they have to.
Mhm,
It's like you know the seats where the wings go.
mhm.
They have to sit like in the middle, and then they get them this seat. The I don't. They have to get them like this a little extended seat. I guess to balance the plane out, they have to sit right there.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Cause you know they got
that's
the baggage
annoying.
and they go by the weight too. And then think about it, nobody not gonna wait for no bigger person. If the plane going down, you know how they gonna be like, no, the side doors. People going nobody not gonna wait for you to take time to get up there. Everybody is for themselves.
They're not
Nobody is
gonna
not
be like,
waiting on
oh,
that.
it's BBW positivity. They're not gonna be thinking about none of that bullshit. They're gonna be thinking about, okay, your ass is a liability right now. We're gonna get the least path of resistance up out of here. And if you happen to just stay behind, that's on you. No one's gonna be able to tote your weight. And that's just the reality of things. And this is why Lizzo at 34 years old doesn't have the same access that a Cam Newton has. Unfortunately, with all the money that she has, she's worth $12 million. But I guarantee you, every guy's not looking at her. Why? Because one, the gender in of itself is not equal, and two, her ass is big as hell. So you're not gonna have the pick of the litter. Now she lose some damn weight, get her ass within proportion. Then now she's gonna position herself because she's not facially challenged. She's actually pretty in the face. Now she's gonna position herself to where she's gonna have more pick of the litter, but she's still not gonna have the pick of the litter that a man is gonna have with those kind of resources and that kind of money. This is what the reality of these women need to figure out. You are not a man. You will never be a man, and you will never have access that these men have. The quicker these women come to the realization of that, the better. I had a ex. I haven't spoken to this ex since 2006, man. When I broke up with her, she said, "Man, I was researching you online." Da 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 da. Long story short, this was like 2 weeks ago, and she reached back out to me or whatever, and she was just like, your cocky ass. You told me back in 2006. I be telling all these damn women when I'm done with them. I said, "Man, you are never gonna be dealing. You never gonna deal with somebody like me. I'm telling you this right now. You're not gonna deal with the level. You're not gonna deal with what I've been able to give you, the experience, and the type of individual. They don't make them like me." I always tell her that shit. I don't give a fuck. I told her that. She was like, 16 years later, she came back. She said, "Your cocky ass, man, you said that." And it didn't dawn on me until recently, because I've been thinking about you. I was like, thinking about me? She's like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about you over the years. It's not like my mind just kind of fell off or whatever." And I've been seeing recent pictures of you, and this is the thing, and this is what a lot of these men don't realize. This is why I tell men, stay on your purpose, focus on you. When you move on, you move on. These women are still checking you out, man. That's just the way the shit rolls. As a man, you always are going to win, especially if you're a high value man. High value men always win, man, when it's all said and done. That's why once a door is closed, a relationship is over with, you don't look back. You got to have that Lot mentality. Always forward, never backwards. That's how Lot was. The wife looked back, the kids looked back, they ass turned to stone. Lot wasn't turning no damn stone. He looked forward. And God blessed him with a whole new family. That's how you got to react in situations. You always got to look forward and press forward. Yeah, she came and told me that. I was just like, whoa, I haven't spoken to you in 16 years. Yeah, so what you doing? You know, do you want to get up? I was like, what? I was like, you must not. I mean, what's going on? Like, you know, you in Connecticut, da 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 da. She started telling me all of this stuff. I was like, what's going on that 16 years from now, I'm on your mind? Well, you know, it's I'm not gonna lie, the way the relationship was, and I've been in other relationships, like you were saying, I never experienced somebody like you. When you imprint a woman and you leave a lasting impression, that shit never leaves. That's just like a woman tattooing a guy's name or tattooing the guy on her. That guy left that imprint. This guy could disappear for 20 years, show up. She's gonna be mad that he show up at the doorsteps, but he show up. She's gonna be in her little emotion for a little period of time. But because he's there, he's gonna be able to do something to her emotionally, and all her emotions are gonna come back. And then next thing you know, that motherfucker has already been grandfathered into the system. I've had women tell me that shit. Yeah, I don't know, multiple women. You are grandfathered into the system. That means that I always have access. If I really want to put the work in and reach out and reconnect, I always have access back to the motherfucker. So as a man, when you know this and you know what you are and you have the strength, that's why I don't understand how men can be weak and succumb to these women and then go back like Stevie J with Jocelyn. Not only Jocelyn sat there and did all the shit that she did, your ass brought your ass back, and not only did you bring your ass back, you embarrassing yourself. When we know damn well Jocelyn was following you left and right. Jocelyn Sanchez was you the one that brought her up, you the one that built her up, and now you back begging. Are you fucking kidding me? When you done with a woman, you done, man. You should move on. There's plenty of them out there. I mean, women outpopulate men. For every one man that's being born, there's like 7 to 9 women that's being born on the planet. So why do I need to sit there and worry my head about somebody that I'm no longer dealing with when I could just move on and focus? So this is the message I'm sending out to you men. Tighten up, man. Get strong in your mind. And if you can't get strong in your mind, take time for yourself. Go on a self enlightenment and go on a journey where you need to build your mental. That's the most powerful thing for a man. You start building your mental up and you start being by yourself and enjoying your own company. You start realizing that a lot of these women, they full of shit. A lot of these women, you don't even really need to be around them. A lot of these women are not worth the time, the stress, and the work. They're just not worth it. This is why I believe and I'm hopeful that the world is resetting to a beautiful place. When I'm hearing men are saying fuck dating, and I'm hearing men are saying, you know what, we're not getting married. Men are on strike now. They're not getting married no more because they get married, and you know what ends up happening, Lala? These
They
women come
ain't having
and get
babies
mad.
either. I hear a lot of people saying they ain't having, they don't want no kids. A lot of men saying they don't want no kids. They don't want to get married, or
Yeah,
they be like, I just pay child support. I don't want to. I don't. You can have the baby. I just pay child support.
because they do all of this stuff. They put themselves in position. These women come in, and then they wake up one day, oh, I don't want to be with you no more. Could you imagine if men were that unstable and woke up one day and told themselves, I don't want to be with you no more? Do you understand how this world would go to shit if men were as unstable as women? This is why women are not like men. Women could sit here and be unstable one day and then wake up the next day, oh, I'm stable back again. You can't do that as a man. Could you imagine men having Fortune 500 companies, running businesses, being stable one day, and then telling all their employees the next day, oh, I'm on my period. I'm emotional right now. Fuck all y'all. And then the next day, oh, I was just kidding. It doesn't work like that, man. This is what we're dealing with. But you want to be on the same footing, right? You want to be equal. You want to be able to have this and have that, but you have these yo-yo effects in your emotion. And they don't know what they want. Women can have the best of the best men in front of them. I'm talking about the man can give them everything, build them up education wise, build them up to the next level to where they bossed up. And then they wake up the next day, I don't want to be with him no more. or I'm bored, or I don't want to deal with this situation no more. And then they realize when they leave that situation, right? They go deal with these other motherfuckers. They're dealing with what God is doing. It's called karma, reaping what you sow. God don't play and God don't like ugly. You start dealing with all these other guys, and what they end up happening, they treating you like crap. Oh,
Some
so
people like
you
getting
thought
treated
that
like
wasn't gonna
crap.
happen?
Some people like get treated like crap. They like, at least I got a man. As long as I got a man, they don't care.
Oh, they do, because after a while, you know what ends up happening? As they get older, they start getting the Dionne Warwick and the Monique syndrome. You start seeing these women in their late 40s, early 50s get on their soapbox, and they start saying, man, all of the opportunities that I had. Some women have opportunities to have multiple men in their lives that were great for them, but they all fucked it up because you know what? They said in their 20s, in their 30s, I have a box, I have a pretty face. I'm going to use this box up. I'm going to have a high body count, and I'm going to go out there and have my fucking fun. And I'm going to use myself. I'm going to use my body up, and I'm going to have as many experiences with men as possible. And they realize after a while, these men start realizing, okay, she's a thought. She got a high level of body count. You don't realize these future men ain't gonna want to deal with you. And you're wondering why you're in a revolving circle of basically no one wants to tolerate you. But here's the thing, everybody gets older. And everybody at a certain age, that's why I said that last week. Alpha, beta, old, young, it don't matter, man. Everybody's gonna want companionship. Motherfuckers start getting their 50s and up. Companionship is what you want. And if you've been a woman that sat here and said, men ain't shit, you know, I'm just gonna be this woman that's gonna rapage and go around men after men. God don't like ugly. So when you get to that certain age, nobody's gonna want you. Because guess what? People are going to ask you, like Lala said last week, I need to know about you. How many partners did you have? People gonna ask you these questions. People ain't stupid. Um, I need to know, you know, about your family. I need to know, did you have trauma? Did you have this? Did you? And then once these men start putting two and two together, as you start running your mouth, because they could already tell based on your experiences, based on who you've dealt with, and then they start seeing a pattern of damn, because men ain't stupid. You was in a relationship with this person how long? 14, 15 years. What? So what happened? Well, how did you get out of a relationship? Oh, I got out of a relationship because I was you only live once. This is the bullshit they tell themselves. Or I was, I just no longer wanted to be in a relationship no more. Not realizing that guy, that future guy, is looking at the situation. He's thinking like, but that means you're gonna do that shit to me too. That means you gonna treat me like that. People don't put that together, man. And then they wonder why this person will then turn around and say, F you. I ain't dealing with you. And they wonder why these men don't want to be married. They wonder why these men don't want to date no more. They wonder why these men are on strike because these women don't even have it together. This is why I said last week, and this is for both men and women. People need to start going to therapy, man. A lot of people have childhood trauma. They got a lot of crap going on. They don't get these things resolved. And then when they become adults, they become a worse version of that. And then they want to get in a relationship, and then they want the person in the relationship to be their therapist. It's not my job to be your damn therapist.
Well, they be like black don't crack, but they do sag. Your bones know. And the great equalizer, we all gotta die one day. That's the great equalizer. People
Yep.
act like death ain't real.
Yep. That is true. And the other thing about this, and this is why to me it's always been a big issue, is we live in a society that tells us we have to have things right then and there. Everything has to be fast. Everything has to be given to us. And social media has basically eliminated the whole, experience, man. There used to be a courtship. They used to be involved. There used to be a lot of gearing up, man. Just 10 years ago, it was different. Now it's like people just swipe. Oh, I don't want to deal with this person. Swipe. So you letting a computer, you letting an Android, you letting a system tell you who is your match without meeting the person. This is what we've gotten. Oh, because so many guys have told me that I have a big butt, I have big titties, you know. I don't want to deal with these guys. And rightfully so. You have every right to not deal with guys that's sitting there fawning over you. But what about the guy that's not fawning over you? That happens to be there, but because you're so stuck in your head that every guy's like this, you miss out on those guys. This is the world we're in, man. It's crazy.
It's like
That's why.
social media don't tell them what's really going on. They be so blinded to the fact and stuck in the minutia. It's like,
Mhm.
but social media be just a distracting. They're like, oh, I can just stay on social media all day, get distracted. But still stuff going on in the world. People dying every day.
Yep.
Cars. They don't care. They just want to be stuck. Then they be like, oh man, 5 years go by. Oh, I wish I would have did this. 5, 10 years go by. I wish I did that. Or they just live for other people. Well, this person like this, so I like this too. This celebrity do this, so I'm gonna do this too. Instead of living for themselves, they don't know what they want. What do you really want in life? What do you really like to eat? Instead of celebrity say, "Hey, go buy this because it's good. I like this and I use it." That's all. Like a celebrity says good, they gon' it's good. A celebrity say go eat this, they gonna go eat it. Nobody had their own mind no more. Nobody had their own thoughts anymore. Nobody just want to do stuff on their own.
Facts. And I'm glad you said that because that's the world we're in. We're in a robotic world, and it's no wonder robots are gonna take over eventually. I mean, you're already starting to see that. The other day, um, I took a client to McDonald's, and I saw that at McDonald's. I was like, "What the heck?" Because I don't eat places. I don't eat at places like that. But I took the client there, and the client basically said, "Yeah, now you could just order from right here." And I'm like, "Well," and I started saying it to the client, like, so eventually, if you could order right here, that means you probably could place the order, and there's probably not going to be someone that's right there. It's probably going to just be spit out to you, the food. He started laughing. He was like, "Yeah, I think that's going to happen." And the client was a kid. Like, "Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I could see that happen in the next 5 to 10 years."
Yeah, I know I've seen something like that. That pizza, some pizza places they have like two people working like just cleaning up, and then they order the pizza somewhere else, and the machine make the pizza and do everything, box it up and everything. They just have somebody monitor the machines and stuff.
Yep. And this is why social media, although there's advantages with it, there's huge disadvantages with it because it eliminates the human connection, man. It eliminates that experience. It eliminates that mindset. This is why nowadays in this modern day society, as it relates to modern day black women and black men, I mean, when I go anywhere and I'm in a company with a lot of women, I don't say shit. I just go in there and focus on me. Because half the times you don't even know if you go and you approach someone and you say something to someone, if they haven't been approached by so many other people, and at the same time, you don't even know if they just gonna drop their little bullshit on you. That's just the way that I see it. So I don't approach nobody. And I realize just me doing me, relaxing, focus on what I got going on, enjoying my own company. You'd be surprised how they start the conversation. "Hey, I see you sitting over here. Are you by yourself?" It happens every fucking time. "Are you by yourself? Do you mind if I sit next to you?" You'd be surprised the reaction, and you'd be surprised how that can happen for you way more than you sitting there and you trying to approach someone and then they want to embarrass you. This is the thing with these black women. They want to embarrass you. It's let them be around their friends too. "Oh, why he think he could just come up to me and talk to me?" Nobody got time for that bullshit, man. I don't have time for that. That's ridiculous. Like, we're grown, we're adults here. Why do someone want to feel like they're embarrassed? This is why men don't approach. Honestly, men are supposed to approach women. It's in their nature to go out there and conquer and take what they're supposed to take. but they're not doing that anymore because they don't want to deal with whatever emotional baggage or nonsense that you got going on in that moment. They don't want to deal with that. And what's going to happen is as this starts to become more and more of a recurring thing, that's when you're going to start seeing women tighten up and you're going to start seeing them acquiesce and you're going to start seeing them toe the line more. I just want more and more men to get to the place where they start doing this. I can't replicate myself and make myself be every man on this planet. I wish every man could think the way I think, because if that was the case, women would toe the fucking line a long time ago. But I can't. But I would love to see these men get to a position and a place in their lives where they start doing that. And I would love to see women get to a place to where if you know that this is a situation where this guy right here is productive, he's fruitful, and this is a person you can have a future with, then have that future with that person. This is what our parents were doing. This is what our previous generations of folks were doing. They were doing this. So when did our generation get to the point where our generation just fell to the wayside and stopped doing it? I don't understand that.
When they see people on social media telling them that was old school, nobody follow them, nobody do that no more, nobody live that way no more. You see, they don't grow their own food no more. They ain't purifying
Mhm.
their own water no more. Once they control your food, they control you. Once they control your water, they control you.
Facts. That's facts.
If they got a window, they can start growing their own food. They got stuff that's called I don't know when you put it in the window and it got all different type of sections where they can grow their own fruits and
Yep.
vegetables. Nobody eating fruits and vegetables no more. They eating crab legs, hookah, casamigos. They ain't worrying about that.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And the interesting part about what you just said is this is why technology can be dangerous, because technology can basically tell you that everybody plays on the same level. And it's like that with kids in school. You see that, right? Nowadays, there's no competition. Everybody gets an award. There's just participation award mindset. So you mean to tell me we're not going to know the difference between who's the best and who's not?
They is gonna know the difference because once they go in the workforce, it ain't no competition. You can do the job or you can't. You gonna get fired. Nobody ain't gonna be like, oh, okay, hand clap, pat on the back. If you can do this job, do you got credentials? It is. They can you do this? Can you do that? Yes or no? Or you get fired. Nobody not gonna care about what you going home, what you going through at night. Did you eat
Mhm.
last night? They not the job force, the workforce not worrying about that. They ain't
And
worrying
that's
about your feelings. They not doing none of that. Is you can
and
do
that's
it,
the
yes or
same
no.
thing. And that's the same thing as it relates to and it correlates to women. So you mean to tell me a woman that looks like Lala compared to a woman that looks like Lizzo? So Lizzo's gonna have what, more access than you if you guys both go out and you guys are both seeking a guy? That's not gonna happen. That's not realistic. More of the guys are gonna be attracted to a Lala than they're gonna be attracted to a Lizzo. Let's just be honest, because she's more within the proportion of what most guys want. Because they can look at Lala and say, "Well, okay, she's disciplined." Like people don't realize how that goes into people's mind. She's disciplined because that's what people look for in relationships. They look to see if people have standards that are comparable to their standards.
But some
If a
people
man is
they can be disciplined, but then people don't want to. They be like, "Oh, I don't know how to work on the schedule. I can't set a schedule for me. I need somebody to do this." They just want to blame everybody. They blame everybody else? Why you BWI? Oh, the BWI says I'm 15 pounds overweight. The
Mhm.
BWI said this. They always say, "Well, white society says this." White society knows. Sometimes we need to come back to reality and then look in both of the mirrors, the outside and the inside, and be like, "What can I change? What I'm willing to give up, why I'm still doing this," but they don't want to do that.
But here's the thing: in white society, the women, for the most part, are slim as hell, and they'll have a baby, turn around and hit that gym like nobody's business, eat right, and get their weight down. They don't play. And you hear they have like 8 or 9 kids and they're keeping themselves a certain way because they know that guy needs to still be attracted to them because they know that guy's visual.
Oh, and they know on white society, once they like if they work at a certain place, say if they work like as a police officer and they go to the police balls and stuff, they ain't gonna bring no they wife ain't gonna be big, sloppy looking. They ain't gonna bring they wife. They definitely not gonna bring nobody that's like that. They gonna have a slender person. White
Mhm.
people they'll cut they white men cut they women off like this. Oh, they big, fat, and nasty. They be like, okay, black men be like, well,
That's
my
it.
mama big, fat, and nasty. So guess what? I sympathize with her because back then she couldn't get a lot of men, and men used to dog my mama out. So now I gotta sit and cuddle her because she remind me of my mama.
Yep.
That's what some black men do. Well, my mama couldn't. Well, my mama big and nasty, so guess what? I gotta stay with her because she got kids. You don't have to stay with nobody because you got kids. This
Exactly.
America, you can get up and leave. Long as you taking care of your kids, you don't gotta pay child support. Long as but you taking care, you ain't taking care of your kids. That's what people fail to realize. And then they be sitting up there, be like, well, she still got my kids. So no, you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
She ain't caring
And
about like the 600 pound life. Like when you see air, they be like, but at least everybody, all of them got somebody. Yeah, but look, they be living in misery. They gotta help take care of them, feed them. You do not want
mhm.
to live in misery with no one. You gotta take care of them. You can't go out with nobody. I would say they got somebody, so I can get somebody too. And
Yep.
exactly, some people they look good on the outside, but if your outsides look good, you don't know what's going on with your insides. You got all these surgeries and stuff. Yeah, you got a BBL, but your cholesterol still high.
Exactly. And it's interesting that you said that because it and I got to get on the black men because see we ain't just heavy handed here. I'm getting on the black men as well. I'm gonna always get on the ass because all of this stuff that's perpetuated and is created is because a lot of it's been tolerated by the black men as well too. Why are you sitting here getting with these what I call pigs, overgrown fucking pigs, and these white women, like basically the rejects that the white men don't want, and you're accepting them things that you won't physically accept from black women. You're accepting it with these white women. I see this shit too. So we got to get on these men. You sitting here, you walking around with these 400-pound white women that these white men don't fucking want. Like we got to have standards all across the board, man. Straight up. I always prefer my sisters, but whenever my sisters act up and I want to, go outside of my sisters, if I'm gonna deal with some kind of white woman, that motherfucker better be on point. She better be on point from head to toe. I mean, on fucking point, super on point. Like they ain't gonna be none of this. You 300 pounds, and you better listen. I better be attracted to your ass. You better do it for me. You better have some damn Scarlett Johansson shit going on. You better be looking good. Shit. You can't be sitting here halfway stepping and no, none of that bullshit. But a lot of these black men just settle, man. And I have a problem with that too. You settling with the rejects because those women, they know these white men don't want them and they know the black men is just going to accept them. And see, this is the other problem too. And this is where the black women have some root in their argument when it comes to that. And that's the only time that I can give them credit when it comes to that. Because as black men, we got to hold ourselves accountable. I'm not saying as black men, you can't mess with people outside your race. These black women do this shit like they about to wipe their ass. As a black man, you can deal with whoever you want to deal with. You're not entitled to, it's just black women or not. No, I don't believe in that crap. But if you're gonna deal with people outside your race, they better be the creme de la fucking creme. They better be the top of the top. Because when these white men go out there and deal with a black woman, man, the black women these white guys deal with, they be like the most beautiful black women. Straight up. These motherfuckers be sexy, gorgeous. They don't just go and pick the bottom of the fucking barrel. I mean, it's ridiculous. But then you, as black men, are sitting here picking up 500, 600 pound motherfucker. What the fuck is this? Like, we got to have standards, man, all across the board. This is what Kevin Samuels was talking about, and he died as a martyr. I think his death was a questionable situation. I don't know. I'm just feeling like something about his death don't feel right. Because there was so much more from this guy's message that this guy could have passed on. But hey, he got somebody like me that got the baton and mantle. I'm gonna elevate this shit. Fuck that. We taking this a few notches to the next level. But I'm gonna tell y'all, accountability all across the board. I'm gonna get on these modern day black women all day, every day. But black men, we gotta do better. Straight up. If you're gonna be with women that's not black, make sure they tight as hell, man. And I understand the, go down in looks for cooperation, but when you going down in looks, don't go down and give a 500-pound motherfucker. Like who said that was okay? Who said that was author? Who said that was acceptable? Being around somebody that can barely breathe, you don't even know if the person's gonna make it the next day. Straight up, man. We just got to be honest here. So accountability is all across the board. And we got to demand better, man. We got to accept better. All because we just want to fuck. A lot of men just they got me, they got it twisted, man. I've heard this terminology when I was younger, and that used to make me cringe every time. I used to question it all the time. I used to hear guys say pussy ain't got no face. I'm like, no, it do got a face to me. And that face better look good. What you mean ain't got no face? What you talking about? I've heard guys say this. We gotta have standards, man. You be at the barbershop getting faded up and hearing this shit, and they all looking at me like, man, you always being judgmental, man. You always got standards to make. Nah, y'all standards are not high enough. That thing got a face, and that face better look good. Because at the end of the day, what type of man do you want to be? Do you want to be the man sitting on a crapper in midlife crisis? Because it happens to all men, believe it or not. And you taking that dump, and you sitting there wondering all the women you bang and you screwed, and then now you have to sit there and be like, oh shit, I banged this horse, this pig. It's gonna come to you. You gonna remember it. Or you could sit there and be all laughing and be like, yeah, man, I had me a nice little, gallery, man. Like, do you want to be that person, or do you want to be the person that has settled? Straight up. Like, we need to have standards all across the board. Black men and black women. Black women need to get off this nonsense, this high horse that they don't need a man. That's bullshit. Because every other woman from other ethnicities, they need their men. And they had their little fun from what, 18 to 24? By the time they hit 25, they know they need to have a kid. They need to have a family. I see this happen all the time with these white women. They settle down by 25. They got their careers together. And you got these black women, 30, still not figuring it out, still wanting to have fun. And then when they finally do want to settle down by 35, 36, nobody wants you because you got all this baggage. And then you bring in all this trauma. These women that you are sitting here modeling yourself after, a lot of black women have what's called white woman identity crisis. They're acting like white women, they're not even realizing it. They're not wearing their natural hair. They're wearing extensions. They're keeping their hair straight. They damn near blonde. Who are you copying when you do that? It's called identity crisis. And they don't even realize that shit. And a lot of times the things that
Some of them do realize. Some of them do realize. Some of them they be like, "Oh, I don't date black men." They the main ones that do that. They the ones I don't date black men. Then you see the type of white man they go with. I'm like, I don't got a problem with interracial dating, but it's more than one race. It's not just white men only. They the main ones be wearing a blonde wig, wearing all that extra stuff, and then the skin bleaching. I'm like, cause you bleach your skin, like mostly there's some African people and then Caribbean people. They think, oh, cause if I bleach my skin, white people gonna accept me more. Not in America. Once you step foot on America, you the N word. They ain't accept you because you bleached your skin. They don't care nothing about that. They don't, oh, I bleached my skin, so white people gonna love me. No. The police see them black hands. The police gonna get the bus, and they don't care about that. There's I don't understand why they do that.
And the reason why they do that, and the reason why they don't understand, I mean, it's really simple, Lala. It's just the fact that they're delusional. It's called delusions of grandeur delusions. People are delusional, man. That's just really what it boils down to. We have such a self-identity crisis in our own black men and black women dynamic. It's just not funny. Because if you look at every other culture, every other ethnicity, every other group, they got it figured out. These women submit to these men. They know they have a biological clock and they know they need to have a family. They figure it out. It's black women that don't do that. And what they're not realizing is that is the yes master's way to indoctrinate, divide, and conquer further and to kill off the black race. And these black women are too stupid to figure this shit out. That's what they doing. They're killing your race off. Because black women not submitting is the death of the black race. Because when black women submit, we can continue to procreate. We can continue to have kids. That's what they're trying to do. And yet they're not catching it. Because how many more women you're seeing nowadays saying they don't need a black man, they don't need to be in a relationship, they don't need to have kids. You're seeing more and more of that happening. I don't need a kid to define me. I'm independent by myself. Well, here's the thing. Where's the legacy? Because your ass is gonna go. Where's the next generation? If people and black women are starting to get into this mindset where they're not having kids more and more and more and more, then we're in a fucked up situation because when you are gone and you leave the world, who's going to be left behind? There's got to be another generation. And see, that's what they don't see. And then they wonder why they are so behind from the white race. The white race got it figured out.
They
They
don't have it
settled
figured
down.
out. They race almost getting wiped out too. They don't have it figured out because everybody mixing. They rejects of the white men, them white women coming having babies with them black men. They
And
don't
when I
have it
say
figured
figured
out.
out, when I say figured out, I don't mean like they are perfect or whatever. What I mean is they're able to pass down through their generational line their resources. That's what I mean when I say figured out. We as black people, we're not passing down through general line our resources. There's a lot of richness in our culture, man. There's a lot for us to pass down. Our genealogy, the families that we came from, the tribes that we came from, we can pass those things down from generation to generation. We're not doing that. We're killing it off because of this whole modern day black woman ideology of I don't need a black man. That is bullshit. And then when they realize it, it's already too late. So what we're gonna have is a whole bunch of Dionne Warwicks, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of Moniques on a soapbox saying, "I'm in regret. I wish I would have, prioritized this and that." These women are at the heights of success. Why are they saying that they should have prioritized family over their careers? I wonder why. I wonder why. Because at the end of the day, we all are left to deal with our conscience. And when we deal with our conscience has a funny way of slapping us in the face. That's why you need to get intertwined with yourself and you need to deal with yourself. Because when you start dealing with yourself and you start dealing with your conscience has a funny way of challenging you and making you uphold standards. You think, I'm sure Lala doesn't get up every day saying, I want to be healthy, I want to work out, I want to do that. That took time. That took her and her conscience getting together and saying, hey, we need to hold each other accountable. And I'm sure there's days where she probably don't want to work out. But her conscience like, nah, we gotta put the work in. We gotta get it in today. I hear you. I hear you saying you don't want to do this, but nah, we gonna do it. And then after that, after she's listened to her conscience, guess what? She's glad that she did it because she got the work in and it kept her disciplined. This is what we got to get to. We got to get back to self-inventory and self-stop. And we're not doing that as a people.
My phone getting ready to die.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we're getting ready to close. But anything else you want to say on this?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. Well, it's been real with everyone that tuned in. We appreciate y'all, man. But we're going to keep this conversation going because obviously more and more people need to hear this. The reality is, in our own dynamic of black men and black women, we are all fucked up. We all need to sit down, get some therapy, get therapized, and start holding ourselves accountable, man. Once we start holding ourselves accountable, you be surprised how far all of us could get. Men, stop walking around here with 500-pound pigs. Yes, I said it. Because the last I saw last week, some of these black women was like, well, you just heavy-handed with black women. No, I get on too. I don't like seeing stuff like that. I saw that a few years ago when I was in Hawaii. At the time, I was married at the time, and me and my ex-wife was laughing at this shit. I was like, what the fuck is this guy walking around here with 400-500-pound looking women and thinking it's okay? Would he have tolerated this if it was a black woman? No, he fucking wouldn't. So I hold my own accountable too. I don't play these games. Stop doing that, man. If you're gonna get with somebody outside your race, they better be the creme de la creme. Just like you want your black woman to have the standard and be a creme de la creme, they better be the creme. They better be the super creme de la creme. That's my mentality with it. And you black women, stop acting like you don't need a black man. There's nothing more powerful, more attractive, more sexy, as y'all say it, more noble than a black woman having a strong black man next to him. Because at the end of the day,
They
y'all
only need
know
a
y'all
black
need a
man when
man
they're in
next to y'all.
trouble. When that other race of man whooping them upside their head, then they call they be like, "Oh my God, where are all the black men? Why are
Yep,
you not protecting me? Where are you?"
yep,
That's the only time when they call a black man. They be like, "Where are all the black men? The black men that need to protect you are the people that's in your family, in your
yep,
household. Those only two black men need to protect you. Anybody
yep.
else outside that, they don't need to protect you. That's the only time they need a black man. Because guess what? When y'all get in a fight, the police gonna come arrest you. They be like, "Oh my God, domestic violence." They gonna take sides with that white man. They ain't taking sides with you. You don't look like them. They can't feel what you feel.
Facts.
They
And
only call the black man when they need help. Them white people is not coming to save they behind. First of all, they
fact,
gonna be like, "What did she do? Like, what did
fact,
this N word do to you?" That's exactly what they gonna be saying in their mind.
facts. And you had Garcelle Beauvais, the Haitian actress. She got
Oh,
on her
fancy.
soapbox. She got on her soapbox after she she didn't want to tell everybody the truth that the white dude left her, that French dude left her ass. But she got on her soapbox now. Now she's talking about, coulda, woulda, shouldas with Michael Jordan, coulda, woulda, shouldas with Bill Cosby, coulda, woulda, shouldas with all these situations. Why you want to hear that shit right now, man? Because you're on the View and you're in your 50s and you pondering and you wondering when you had those opportunities, you had those moments. How didn't you execute? Because at that time you wasn't seeing it that way. This is the problem. This is what you're seeing. And this is why you got the Vivica Foxes of the world mad at Kevin Samuels. You know where she's mad at Kevin Samuels? It's called projection. She's mad at the fact that her shit didn't work out with 50 cents. So now she got to take it out on the next brother. Let's be honest. This is what it boils down to. So I want to see y'all black women tighten the hell up and realize y'all do need y'all black kings. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. The biggest thing that could help the black race is black women starting to support and galvanize behind their black men. You'd be surprised how productive that is for the community and our society as a whole, our culture. There's nothing stronger than a man feeling like, a woman is behind him, she supports him, and she wants to see him excel. That motivates men. We need more of that shit in our culture, man. Not this whole I don't need you, you ain't shit, fuck you. It's ridiculous. And the more and more that goes on, the more and more our culture is gonna die off and it's gonna go into extinction. And that's troubling. That's dangerous. Just even saying that, it's like a mind fuck for me just saying that. So that's all I got to say, man. Lala, anything else? All right, it's been real. Lala, as always, appreciate your contributions. I know next week we ain't gonna go on, but we'll continue on the following week after that. So have a great week. Enjoy your family. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but health and wealth. And I wish you nothing but success. And we're gonna continue this conversation, man, because this conversation has to continue. We got to do better, people. Both black men and black women. We got to do better all across the board. It's been real. Y'all be easy. Peace.